Hey, how you guys doing? Another fine day out here. Really nice out here today. Little wind noise, so if you hear some wind, yeah, it's just a little tiny bit windy, but it feels good. But anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day. I came across this video that I wanted to share with you guys, and it kind of continues this discussion that we were having between the video that we did recently, the one we did, saying that in essence that the black church is trash. So if you haven't seen that one, you need to watch that one. And then the more recent one about the anointing and what it really is, and versus what we've been seeing and all of that. And if you haven't watched that one, you need to watch it too, because we're definitely going to be asking some hard questions, and this video ain't no different. But anyway, I recently came across this video with Marvin Winans, and if you haven't heard the news, Elton John actually served the Winans a cease and desist for a certain song that they did, and I am going to play the video right here.
I'm finished. The last few weeks I've been trying to make it more spiritual, but I can't. I just have to be transparent. Ronald was always bringing me songs. Till finally I caught up with him, saw that he was just revamping songs that he had heard on. I thought for sure, I was so taken. He came and showed me this song, "Don't Let the Sun Go Down." Man, we used to sing that when Gwen Brown was a teenager. Well, we was about the same age. And Mother Pearl, they come down, we go to singing, "Don't let the sun." Souls would just be coming to the altar. I can't tell you how many times I said, "Whoa, Ronald, God gave you that one." Till I found out God gave it him through Elton John. And we actually recorded it. No, we did. And he was supposed to have all the clearances. That's why if you have "Don't Let the Sun Go Down," keep that, because that is a collector's item. Because Elton John said, "Cease and desist." But there was this song that again Ronald brought to me. I'm blaming him. He can't defend himself. And this was the chorus. "I am a man who will fight for your honor, and I'll be the hero that you've been dreaming of. We're gonna live forever, and we did it together." No. We're gonna live. No, that's it. We'll live forever, knowing together, here we go, that we did it all to the glory of love. And he brought that back, and it was to the glory of God. Everything we do ought to be done for the glory of God. How many want the glory?
Yeah, that's a funny story, but there's some things that kind of stuck out to me in this story here. I think the first thing that stuck out to me is he said that God gave his brother the song through Elton John. Hold on for a second. Okay, so he said God gave them the song through Elton John. Okay, so let me put a picture somewhere on the screen here. Elton John I'm talking about. Okay, so for you Christians, let me ask you something. Now, the God of the Bible, when you read what his thoughts were when it came to people like who live this kind of life, can you give me an example in the Bible, any example, where the God of the Bible gave, hand-delivered, or gave inspiration to his set-apart people through somebody who was living a life that in the Bible is clearly dead set against? Can you give me an example of that? I mean, this is what I'm talking about, the hard questions here. Because we got to pierce through all this Christianese stuff. And man, I tell you, you could do a whole encyclopedia series on Christianese. But let me just ask you, I'm asking because I can't think of one example where the God of the Bible said, okay, I'm going to give you a song, but I'm going to give it through somebody that is basically living a life that I don't approve of at all, but I'm going to give you a song that is going to help you to worship me. I want you to really think about that for a second. I want you to think about that. Have you ever thought of that? Anyway. And then the other thing about that, what he was saying, he was talking about how, man, because when we would do this song, people would just be running to the altar, just coming to the altar, right? So it made me go back to the video that we just did recently about the anointing and what it really is and all that. Like I said, again, please take the time and watch that entire video, because we talk about the power of music and what it does, and how everybody has their own resonance frequency and all of that stuff, and what that means and all of that stuff. So we go into some detail with that. So as I was listening to him, it made me think, okay, so for many of you who grew up, let's say, in the church, you remember, when they would play certain songs, or, be it someone out there singing, or if it's the musicians, on their keyboards or whatever, or both, combination of both. We all know of those certain songs that they would play that would get people to, all of a sudden, man, they run into the altar. And, like one that I remember is I Surrender All. I surrender all. I surrender all. And the keyboardist or the organist will be up there playing that thing, boy. Next thing you know, people just like, and they just gone. And they'll say, and then the preacher, he's up there like, okay, let them use you. Don't ignore it now. Don't ignore you. There's my wife and I, we talk about a particular pastor that, when he would do altar calls, man, it was like, listen, you got to the count of 3 before you make that decision. Because if you don't make the decision right now to give your life to Jesus, you don't know what's going to happen at any given moment. You could drop dead and immediately you will be in eternity. Now it's up to you if that eternity is going to be in flames or with him. And then they're still playing in the background. I surrender all. I'm going to count to 1. And then you hear the reverberation of the man's voice up there. When he says 1, you hear that 1. And he says, all right, now. And then he'll say something else. He'll say 2. Then he'll get the number, Then he'll say some more. Okay, all over the place right now. I want to see. There needs to be hands all over the place. You're not living right. And then when I get to 3, that's going to be it. 3. Look at it, all people all over. They're just coming. They're just coming. Look, you know, you know. And so you see all of that. And so we sit back and we would say, man, that the anointing just fell. Oh, the Spirit of God, it just fell. No, let's break this down. You scared the hell in these folks and try, you know, and between that and the music hitting those right tones, like we talked about, music has a way of setting different moods. And so if you're setting a mood where it's you know, because there's all kinds of songs out here. There are songs that will allow you to be more reflective. There's songs that have more of a, you know, kind of somber tone to it. There's songs, of course, that are very exciting and all that stuff. Music is a very powerful thing. And this is something that the church system has mastered in using frequencies as a way of manipulating people. If you go back even to ancient times, in those old churches, and you see how you know, everything from the bell, the church bell. Now this is going back into like in Europe, everything from the bell to when you look at the stained glass, it matched the patterns of those stained glass windows. You think they're just weird patterns. No, what they have discovered is that those patterns that they found in the stained glass windows match the frequencies, that the vibration that comes out of from the bells, the church bells, in many cases.
Hello, everybody. Back for another video, and today I'd like to talk about churches, and I'm going to be doing a little series on churches and this concept of churches as being machines and generating frequencies. So I was looking into cymatics, which is just the study of geometric patterns created by sound vibrations or frequencies. An article featuring this woman, Tanya Harris, and I believe she's based in London, and she's studying cymatics, and one of her experiments was to go into 4 separate churches, and they're called Hawksmoor churches because there was an architect by the name of Nicholas Hawksmoor, and I believe he was the chief architect for about 6 different churches in London. But she went into 4 of these churches, and she recorded the resonant frequencies in those churches. And then what she did was apply those frequencies to water, and it formed these specific patterns. So,
reach a key threshold resonance, such as that moment right there. And in that key threshold resonance, the entire pattern morphed into a more complex expression of itself, simply because the frequency changed. Now watch what happens. The frequency is still increasing. And watch what happens. As we reach another key threshold resonance, this entire pattern will morph into a beautifully and more complex pattern of itself. Again, and again. And look at this pattern right here. Look what you're seeing right here. Look at the beautiful geometry. Here is a perfect cube. There's a perfect tetrahedron, a star tetrahedron. In 2 dimensions, we've got the octahedron. Very powerful images of sacred geometry held in place simply because we've achieved the vibratory pattern that allows that in this water droplet. And as the vibration increases, these patterns will become more and more complex. You can see the pulse from where you are. Can you see the pulse actually in the water? As we go into the last set of the frequencies, what you'll see is that the entire, and you'll watch along the outer perimeter, the entire pattern reaches its greatest level of complexity, and then it goes back as the frequencies drop, it goes back to what it was, the concentric circle.
It's really neat. And also in the physical structure, if you've seen some of those doors, you know, those grandiose doors on some of these churches, and it's like layers. I'll see if I can include some of those pictures in this video. That sound coming out, that's what those weren't just neat designs. They were mimicking, or they were showing you the frequencies that are going out to the people. You understand what I'm saying? And so the church system, the system of the church, has learned over the centuries how to master sound and vibration in order to manipulate people to do what they want them to do. So in this case here, when you want people to feel guilty, you want people to feel sad, you want people to respond with an emotional response, there's a tone for that. You remember Apple years ago used to say there's an app for that? Well, the churches, there's a tone for that. And there are different frequencies that they've learned. The thing is, it's so embedded in the church psyche that people just do it without even thinking about it. You understand what I'm saying? It's just part of the system. You just do that. So again, watching this video, it just made me, reminded me of how, you know, easy it is, you know, for people in the church to make these things like what he's talking about. You know, that the God of the Bible gave his brother a song through this man so that the people can use that song to worship him. I mean, you want to talk about contradictions. I mean, I don't know, you know, well, I do know. So anyway, just a quick thought. I just wanted to share that with y'all, and let me know what you think in the comments. And have you seen this kind of stuff in the church? You know, and what have you thought about it, or have you even given any thought of it? Well, anyway, let me go ahead and finish this walk. You guys take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'm in a riverbed right now. I'm in this riverbed right now, and crossing it and continuing my walk. Okay. You guys take care, and I'll see you next time.